Welcome, everyone. It is the third of our series of how to deal with the pain and burnout of being single. And it might just be called how to deal with pain and burnout in general, because life kind of happens. But, singlehood has its own journey. And I thank Hashem for this opportunity. I thank Adina for the inspiration and for her inner work that led to this. And I ask Hashem that he just guide us in this final segment. And what I want to let you know is that even though this is the final segment of our class together, there will be ongoing, not only classes, but incredible growth and programming for you. So I'm going to talk about that at the end of this class, not at the beginning. But what I'm going to let you know is this. Sometimes people can't hear the whole hour, and that's okay. So I'm going to let you know before we even start that this class has set off like a fireworks in the universe, and the response has been so amazing. And I don't just mean the physical response, because there's a lot of people who are hearing these classes and I'm getting a lot of emails, but I mean also the spiritual response. Like it's this is guidance that we need for real. And so Hannah Crystal has teamed up with Adina Chrysler, and the two of them have my full backing to create a program to lead people through a spiritual journey of closeness to Hashem, really. And I've looked over what they're offering, and I'm amazed by it. I'm amazed by the community support, by the friendship. I'm amazed by the on-target needs that they are aiming at. This is like the full Monty of self-development, spiritual development, friendship, fun, and realness on the journey. It's what we all want. So they're going to tell you about it in their own words at the end. But I want you to know that this is a special opportunity. I believe it's going to be very, very big. We're just starting. We're starting with only 20 people. 20 people are going to join this program 1 month at a time. And you are like the beta testing. You're very, very lucky. So if you're listening to this class live and it's something that you want to be a part of, you want to be one of those 20, we're starting in 2 weeks, you just let me know. The cost for the month is $150. And with that, you're going to get a weekly recorded class and a weekly Zoom class like this that's discussion oriented. It's not a speech, it's real time. And you will also get a buddy, so to speak, a community sister who's going to help you do the exercises that Hannah and Adina have planned specifically for you. So really, it's an opportunity for you to fall in love with yourself. And that's the first guy you got to fall in love with. So background music's going off, helps me, but it doesn't always help everyone else. Thank you. Ooh, that is better. Yeah, sorry about that. So this is something that you want to be in. You're one of those first 20 people who are ready to rock and roll. I bless you. And put your name in the chat box. Hannah will reach out to you. Anyway, I'm going to be sending out an email to about 4,000 people. So I'm just giving you the heads up. Get in now. And it's going to be awesome. Okay. So I've also gotten some questions. And the questions are about having private meetings with me. And I am so honored. You have no idea how honored I am. I've had this from a few people. And the truth is that I don't really meet one-on-one with people. That's the truth. And I do try to be available for emails whenever I can. So I'm sorry about that. I wish that I was in a time of my life where I was more available to do that. I'm just not right now. That's the scoop. But, and if you, yeah, okay. And my love for you is great. And usually what I will do is I will connect someone up with someone that I feel will be the best support for them. Hashem has blessed me with a really good eye, who to match with who. That's why when Adina's letter came in originally, I'm like, that one's for my husband, and just like who needs which support. And I'm kind of here just holding the basket, but we can all be there to support each other. Okay. And the email that you want to send to say that I'm in is either to message Chana right here. You see her name, just click on it and say I'm in, or just send an email to peaceintheprocess@gmail.com. How gorgeous is that? Okay, we begin today's talk. Today, we're going to go somewhere. Okay, we're going to go into the supernatural. So in our first class, we went to one aspect of the natural, which is, hello, life is happening right now. Go be awesome. And please have permission to love and enjoy and be yourself. Please, I beg you. Heal those parts that need to be healed. Don't wait to be married to someone that they're going to heal them. They're not. They're going to bring up other things for you to heal. There's plenty of work for you to do now. In our second class, we spoke about the pain and the purpose of pain and the strategic, practical ways of dealing with pain. And today we're going to talk about the supernatural, okay? When we dive into Hashem and we yearn and we want something and we need it so badly, the big question we need to have the answer to is, who are you, Hashem, right? Who are you? If I ask like the secretary at my kid's school, can I like have a loan of $10,000? It's kind of the wrong address. If I go to the bank and say, can I have a loan for $10,000? That's the right address. I got to know who's who. I got to know what you're about. So, which is, by the way, why I don't do so many one-on-ones, because my one-on-ones by definition are limited. After I speak to 3 people, for an hour each, I'm sapped, and then I can't give in a larger way. So I have to know who I am, and I have to know to let other people do the supporting. You got to know who you are. You got to know who Hashem is. Hashem himself tells us who he is. Hashem is the Baal Harachamim. He is the master of mercy. And right here I have the book, The Secret to Miraculous Salvations. And here it is, in case you want to know. Okay. And it says that Hashem, he prays throughout the day. Did you know that? Hashem's prayer, God's prayer. Yehi ratzon lefanai, sheyichbashu rachami eskasi, v'yagutlu rachamai al midosai ve'esnaig al banai b'midos harachamim, ve'akanes lahem l'fneim mishur sadin. Let it be, l'fneim mishur sadin. Let it be my will, that my midah of mercy, my trait of mercy should overcome my anger, and my mercy should override all my character traits, and I should act with my children with the midah of Rahmanis beyond what they deserve. Hashem has 10 different names, which represent the different ways that he conducts himself in the world, but they don't represent his core essence. What is Hashem's essence? Compassion. And the author writes, this is kind of cute, in little parentheses, this could seem like a new phenomenon to some readers, since most people assume Hashem wants to punish us. Yep, it's really rough. So when we daven and we feel like, I am at your mercy, Hashem, make it happen. Why is this hurting? I'm so lonely. If we feel that we are talking to someone who is withholding from us, it's a very bitter conversation. Very, very bitter. It's an adversarial conversation, as we mentioned. But the truth is that Hashem is the Baal HaRachamim. In other words, his desire is to bestow compassion, and compassion has something in it that is the greatest love. I don't remember if we spoke about this last week. If we did, it's a review. The greatest love means I love you because I love you, because I see it, and I see your imperfections, and I have compassion on that, and I have compassion on the whole experience, and it's just you. It's just you. And my compassion has nothing even to do with you. You could show up however you show up, and it doesn't matter. My love for you, my compassion for you is beyond all that. And it says that Hashem, he wanted to show himself to the Jewish people. He wanted to say to the world, this is who I am. So he came to us in Egypt, and he started to show us who he is. He said, look, I'm in charge of nature, the blood, the frogs, the dust that turned into lice, all of that is me. killing your oppressors. That's me. I am mighty. I am all powerful. This is who I am. I will take you out of the land of Egypt that it said no prisoner ever escaped from. And then the Jewish people came to the water. They came to the sea, and behind them were the Egyptians. And in front of them was the sea, and they had nowhere to turn. What should they do? They literally didn't know what to do. So the sea, it turns out, was having a conversation with Hashem. The sea was saying, Hashem, look, at the beginning of the time when you created me, I made a condition. I understood I'm always meant to be water, but at some point the water has to split for the Jewish people. But Hashem, these are not the people that you showed me. These guys, they don't look good at all. They're like, their souls are in tatters. They're at the height of impurity. They've just been around idol worship. Like, I don't recognize these people. You cannot expect me to open for these people. They're just not worthy. That's what the sea said. Well, there was one man, Nachshon ben Aminadav, and Nachshon ben Aminadav did a very interesting thing. While the Jewish people were crying out to Moses, and saying, what should we do? Ask Hashem what we should do. We're being persecuted. We have no place to go, no place to hide. Nachshon ben Aminadav bravely and calmly walked in the water, and he walked up to his knees and up to his thighs and up to his waist and up to his neck, and he didn't stop. And when the water came up to his neck, it split. That's what he did. Now, is he a lone hero? What was this about? What is it about that Hashem made this whole glorious happening with all the 10 plagues in Mitzrayim, and then another time where they're stuck in a trap and oppression and danger? What was the point of the whole splitting of the sea? Didn't we already do the big miracle? So the point is that right there, Hashem was saying, in Mitzrayim, I showed you who I am, that I am mighty, I am strong, I'm all powerful, I'm the mashkiach, I watch over everything, I'm in charge of every little frog that jumps, that's who I am. But at the sea, I'm going to tell you who you are to me. Who you are to me. You're going to walk into this water not because you deserve it, not because of anything, just because you know that who I am is the one that has compassion on you. Now, Nachshon ben Aminadav, he knew this, and I'll prove it to you. If he thought that it was about, I am the greatest man and God will split the sea for me, then he would have had Moses do it, because clearly Moshe Rabbeinu was the greatest man there, right? But it wasn't Moshe. It was someone who we never heard of before. Someone who just knew in their heart something about their intrinsic belovedness to Hashem. He believed in Hashem's compassion, and he believed that Hashem's compassion has nothing to do with what we deserve. It just is the truth. So it's really, really interesting, because so much of life is cause and effect. We work hard and then we get the result, and we try hard in our avodas Hashem and then we feel close. Yep, all that. But then there's another piece, and it's a supernatural piece. And the supernatural piece is, I don't have to do anything. All I need to do is walk into the water. Hashem's got the whole thing covered. I have to believe in Hashem's great mercy, in his desire to bring about a miraculous salvation. He will do this thing for me. Such is his love for me. And we hold on to this knowledge of the miraculous salvation, no matter what it looks like, no matter if it looks like the sea is splitting or not splitting, it really doesn't matter. Hashem said to Moshe Rabbeinu, Dabru al bnei Yisrael vayisa'u. Speak to the Jewish people and tell them, travel. You just go. That's the whole instruction. Don't pray. Don't fix yourself. Just go. I've got this. Such is my love for you. It's called a rachamim merubim, an unbelievable compassion. So let's break this down into reality, into our practical daily lives. We call it this work, we call it based on this handy dandy little life manual, The Secret to Miraculous Salvations. So we call it around here, The Secret to Miraculous Salvations, that's what we call it in our conversation. And what it is that we go above what anything looks like, and we step into the truth of Hashem's mercy where everything is possible. And we do this work again and again and again and again. And when I say work, I don't mean work. Okay, work is like working on your character. When I say work, I mean just a reminder, because we have to remind ourselves to relax. We have to remind ourselves that it's enough for us to just be with Hashem, to just walk into the water, and Hashem will take care of the rest. You know, at the beginning of this talk, I spoke about Hannah and Adina creating a program, right? Well, Hannah's been working on vision for years. She's been like visioning big things. It just happens to her. She gets like big vision. And Adina's been working on her relationship with Hashem for years and years and years, and probably vice versa. Adina has vision, Hannah's relationship with Hashem, yes. And then all they've ever had to do is keep walking straight in a line to Hashem. And before you know it, Adina sends this email, Hashem arranges that, we have this class, the two of them meet. Now they're making a program, now other people will be helped. And what did they do already? They just trusted and walked in a straight line forward into the sea without fear. And when we were talking, it was funny. They were like, should we do this in 6 months? And then we were like, no. If human beings were making this, maybe it would take 6 months to create programming and really like nail it down what this program is about. But this is Hashem's program. This is on his time. Hashem will give it in a week or two because people need it now. People can't wait around for 6 months before this thing starts. No way. So the idea has a few components. Component number one is to step into a space with Hashem where you don't have to prove anything to him, where what you are is exactly what he wants. Because by the way, that's the truth. That's like, so the truth. I could talk about that for like probably 100 years. I'm not joking. That who you are with what you would consider your deficiencies, which are not deficiencies, what you would consider your deficiencies is exactly what he wants. Exactly what he wants. All this like questions about I'm less than, I'm more than, that's our own selves. It's nonsense. It's nothing. Who you are is exactly what he wants. So when we stand before Hashem in davening or in quiet time, walking in the woods, walking in a park, walking down the block, we want to like help ourselves to like get into a space of I'm just me. I don't have to be like anything else. It's just me. And this is an unusual space. We're used to having to be something, having to prove something, having to get dressed up. Just me. It is just me. I don't have to be anything else. And when I am just me, when I allow that relaxing, then I can finally just be with Hashem. In Hisbodedus, which is quiet time together with Hashem, Hashem doesn't need you to perform. Sometimes I see like ways to do Hisbodedus, and they give you like, do 10 gratitudes and then do the, no, just you be you. If you like order, you can do 10 gratitudes and then 10 requests, if that's you. If you're a quiet one, just walk and breathe in the sunlight. Just breathe it in. If you're a talkative one, have a nice, juicy conversation with Hashem. Whatever you are is what he loves. You want to just be. And then you want to breathe in his rachamim, his compassion for you. That just let it wash over you. Like, yeah, Hashem's got me. And compassion, the deepest compassion doesn't even have words. It's like the eyes that are just like, oh, yes, darling. Like sitting by someone's bed in a hospital So deep. It's so deep. You're just there. You're with them. You want to receive Hashem's compassion. That's one piece. And that piece, I called it work because, like I said, it takes reminding. Sometimes I know my husband, he's a quiet Hisbodedus one. So how's this? Yeah? Okay. This is a question that people ask a lot. And I'll answer it as many times as needs to be answered. As soon as I say who you are is what Hashem wants, everything about you is perfect, people get so, it's scary words. It's like, wait a minute. There is sin, and there are good deeds. What are you talking about? Don't I have to work on myself? Well, you can't just give everyone a free pass. And the answer is to recognize that Hashem loves all of you as you are. But the more that you work on the character, the closer you will feel to Him. Okay? And the drive to improve, that's your question. How do you get the drive to improve your character? When you feel close to Hashem, you want to grow. You want to improve. It's just how it is. So the relationship needs to be the foundation. Otherwise, working on yourself can pull you away from the relationship. You can feel like judged and unloved, and that's not cool. You need to know that you're loved unconditionally, that Hashem sees you as an exalted being. And the more you see that about Hashem, the more you want to change and grow. So let me just think if I have anything to add to that. Yeah, it's just how people grow. It's just how people grow. If you've ever seen an experiment with plants, if you yell at a plant, you puny little thing, you're so puny. Will you please grow already? I'm trying to have a rose bush in my garden. Like, you're meant to be a rose bush. So just get up and grow. That rose bush will not grow for you. You can try it yourself. It just will be like a weak bush. And that's a plant. Forget a human spirit. But when you sing to your plants, when you love on them, when you give them a thank you, like we like to thank our rose bush every time we walk up from the driveway. Started out so little $20 rose bush from the farmer's market, and it's so big. It's amazing. It grows. We grow under love. Some amazing things happen. You don't even have to tell the rose bush to grow. That's what it's born to do. You're born for closeness with Hashem. Surround yourself with good people. Soak in the love, and you're going to get there. Okay. Thank you, Leah. So now I will tell you two more things. My friend, she did an experiment. This experiment was with rice. She made 3 containers of rice. One said hate, one said love, one said ignore. And she had this was cooked rice. She had this rice just sitting on her shelf by her staircase. The one that said hate grew this like awful mold on it. The one that said ignore turned so black, it was like disgusting to even look at. It was worse than the hate. And the one that was love gently fermented. So interesting. So the ignore is actually the worst of all. To not be in this dialogue with Hashem, to numb your heart and turn away, to just get busy, to think, yeah, this is for other people, that hurts you the most of all. You're just on your own, left to your own devices, your own judgments. Yeah. So thank you, Leah, for your comments. So now you're in the space of Hashem just loves me for me. That's the truth. And the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to activate the secret to miraculous salvations. Okay. And in order to do that, you probably want to get this book or join Chana and Adina's program where they'll explain to you the premises of this book in depth, because it actually gives you a page by page, step by step. It's like work to do every time, little exercises to awaken this muscle. But essentially what you're going to do is you're going to allow yourself to dream about what you truly yearn for. Really, really, really like let yourself want it. Open it up. Don't be scared. Write it down. And then envision it. Let yourself feel this Yeshua, this salvation, mind, body, and soul. When I do this, I literally start like breathing heavy or like laughing out loud with the excitement of like, it's totally happening. It's happening. Like live into it. Sometimes people even purchase things or plan things in their life that support this dream that they have, as if to say, I know this dream is coming. I am all about it. You can see there's an Israeli movie called The Wedding Plan. It's a religious movie that is, I think it might be on YouTube. It's a religious movie about a woman who lives in the secret to miraculous salvations. Did you see it, Adina? Oh, you're going to thank me. She lives in that method. It's not important to say the plot, but anyway, the point is that we allow ourselves to breathe in the salvation, because one of the things that holds back Hashem's gifts from coming is that he wants to give it to us at a time when we could fully receive it. To give someone a gift before they can receive it, they can't receive the whole of it. Don't give an 18-year-old a house. They'll use it for a party. That's it, you know? But if you give someone who's been paying mortgage payments and is raising a family, and now you say, I want to gift you with a house, mortgage-free, all yours, 5 bedrooms, they know what to do with it. They know how to appreciate it. They understand the pressure that you're releasing from them. They can receive this gift and feel your love and know what $400,000 is. An 18-year-old doesn't even know. So Hashem wants to give you this gift when you're ready to receive it. When you expand your vessel to say, I could have this. It is possible. Yes, Hashem, I'm aligning with this dream. Then you create this channel for this dream to come down. In secular literature, they call it the secret, that if you can envision it, you can manifest it. Totally not really giving credit to the fact that it's always Hashem's will to give you everything in the first place. Just that you're aligning with Hashem's will to treat you with compassion. That is why it's so important for you to treat yourself with compassion. That's how you get into alignment with Hashem's bracha for you. So again, we're writing down the dreams. We're envisioning it like in the most expansive way. I like to do a breathing exercise where I breathe from my toes. A friend taught this to me. I picture this thing that like literally I want, and I'm not talking about a car, which is fine to envision a car, but like we want really big things. And I envision it right there at my toes. Like I'm breathing into my toes, really. And then like bringing it up your body, letting this vision fill you until it's like a tefillah out to Hashem, out of your mouth or out of your head, that no part of you is resistant to receiving it. And if you feel that there's a part of you that's resistant, you know, you feel like I'm spacing out here, I start again. I want to be, all of me wants this from you, Hashem, for you, Hashem. Okay. And then we're also aligning in relationship with Hashem, that Hashem's not against us. He's for us. He's our provider. He spends all day giving everything to us. We're going to do a question just in a minute. Yes. Then finally, here's what we do. We thank Hashem. We thank Hashem in advance for what he is going to give us. We thank him in advance. We allow this expansive gratitude to come even before it arrives. We allow ourselves to trust. Now, living in gratitude and daily noticing of Hashem is the way to feel love to feel intimacy with Hashem as he's literally spoon feeding you loving experiences all day. Thanking Hashem in advance for all the good he's going to send, that creates an incredible bond of trust. Now we're going to ask a question. Go ahead. I don't know your name. Do you want to ask you some questions? QP. Dear QP, I don't know who you are, but I don't see your question. Oh, wait a minute. Did you want to ask your question? Okay. Can you ask Hashem questions? Of course you can. As a matter of fact, sometimes that's some of our yearnings. When you write down this dream that you desire, your dream might be, I long to understand why XYZ is this way. I long to understand. Please help me to understand. So often Hashem will deposit that answer in your brain when you're ready to receive it. You can ask him for anything. What do you do with the resistance? You speak to it, you notice it. Resistance is ego or fear. So you come and this resistance comes and you notice, I'm not all invested in this. I am resistant to it. What is it that I'm resistant about? And you accept it. Hello, resistance. Hello, fear. What can I do for you today? What are you here for? What are you scared of? Let's talk about it. And we talk it through a little bit, just like you would with a really good friend. And then you say, and then you start again. As soon as that is settled, are you ready, resistance, to start again? To try again? Someone says, why does Hashem send me men who don't really want to be in a close relationship? Well, darling, I can't speak for Hashem. But I could say that very, very often we choose people unconsciously from a place of our woundedness. So we think that we're choosing like the dream guy, let's say, but perhaps what we're really drawn to is like a dreamy, let me give an example. Okay, let's say there is a woman who is drawn towards very manly men. Very manly men. Her father was a very manly man. She's looking for a manly man. Yes? So she goes and she like meets a manly man and she's in a relationship with him, and it turns out he's like not such a nice guy. He hurts her or he doesn't appreciate her. So what's going on deeply in there? Deeply, deeply in there may be many things, but it may be that what's going on is that she had a very, manly father, and she couldn't find her own male essence, her own voice, her own effectiveness in his presence. So she's looking for this manly man, but what is she really looking for? She's looking for a piece of herself. She's looking to reclaim that piece of her own manly man. So Hashem says, okay, I know you're trying to find it in a man, but I'm not letting any of them get close to you because I want you to find it in yourself. Or maybe she didn't get a certain type of love that she wanted, and she's looking for it in all of these men, wondering, why aren't they more loving? Why don't they want to be more close? And really, it's Hashem redirecting her to herself. Sweetheart, I want you to know that you are beloved. Before a man ever tells you that, that's your intrinsic belovedness. I can't hook you up with someone else just yet, because then you'll be dependent on them, and they're human beings. They're not you and they're not me. I want you to know something from within yourself about yourself. Hashem's interest is always in you. He's always interested in you. You're always the apple of his eye. You're always his hero. You're always his daughter. He's always protective of you, no matter what it looks like. He's always interested in your highest desire. And sometimes he's got to play big daddy. He's got to like keep things away from you, or say not yet, or I know something more about you. It's not so much fun. He has mercy on our human experience. I read a story. That said that there was a big decree on a town, on a Jewish town, that they were going to all be massacred. And they had had a rabbi in the town, and this rabbi passed away. And he was a very saintly man who like had direct connect upstairs. And so someone like went to the rabbi's grave and he prayed for this community. And that night he had a dream. And in this dream, he had a conversation with this great rabbi. And he said to the rabbi, I don't understand. It says that a righteous man, a tzaddik, his strength is stronger after he passes away. So why didn't you beseech on our behalf and ask Hashem to please have mercy on us? Why did you let this go on? And he said, from here, from up there looking down, I couldn't see that anything was wrong. I didn't know until you prayed. I didn't know even that anything was wrong. Once you davened, I realized you're in distress, and then I went to Hashem. But from this look, from this vantage point, it's really, there is a dimension of it's all good. Now we continue. Some more questions. What do you do when you usually try to be optimistic and then you get the feeling of giving up or the need to just accept the reality of whatever situation you're in, no matter how painful it is? How do you not get despondent? Oh, honey, you're in the daily battle. You're in the daily battle and you're doing everything right. And we use every tool available. That's all that I could tell you because I know you use your tools, but we will make it out, my dear. You will make it to the other side, okay? Sometimes there's a part of us, and I'm just going to address this not directly to you, but just in general. This is a thought that's coming up. I've experienced this. There is a part of us that can be attached to our pain. I know that I had a long time where I was attached to my turmoil, where we can be attached to our pain / turmoil because that's what we're used to. That's our identity. And it can be scary to be happy. How could I be happy? This pain isn't over. How could I feel unlonely? I'm still like, my identity is that I'm alone. So we want to also just look at what are some ways that we can overcome our label, our comfortable identity as being the one who's in pain, in turmoil, victimized. Some people feel unrooted, and to recognize that perhaps that was true, and perhaps that on one dimension is true. And there could also be a space where it's not true. There's a space, for example, to the one who just wrote over here, where you're thriving, where you, who is always asking these questions about, but how do I survive? You are actually doing unbelievable. You're a hero. Hashem gave you such difficult circumstances and such a difficult, painful life. You're doing so amazing in it. It can be hard to remember that when you're by yourself. So we really do need to have friends. We must have friends. We must have friends. I can't state that enough. I can't state that enough. It's a world of isolation and we must have friends, holy friends. And friendships are protected in their beauty when you're both striving to serve Hashem, when you're trying to support each other and staying uplifted. Not a friend that, that will put you down for having feelings, and not a friend that you will end up dependent on, but that both of you are in it for the growth. So please, 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 I beg you to keep reaching out and accepting the love of people who reach out to you. Okay. For the one who says this is so inspirational, no, this Nisayon is so difficult, I want to tell you that nobody could understand your pain. I cannot understand your pain. I'm speaking words from my experience, and your pain is your own, and I'm sorry for it. And I urge you to please join this upcoming support group because it is that difficult. It really is that difficult. It's not a simple matter. It's a daily battle. So please. And same thing to the next person who said, how do I keep strong within myself? Listen, once I heard a speaker say something so amazing. She was like a real rock star speaker. And she's like, I'm not here to give you motivation. I'm not here to give you inspiration. And she's like, motivation means that I'm all excited about what I've accomplished. And you sit in the chair and you think I'm amazing. Inspiration means that I open up something in you and you get to remember it for 24 hours until you crash again. I'm here to give you transformation. Transformation is when you hear something and you can actually put it on your life and you can start to change. And what I've seen about transformation is that there's very, very few talks. I hope these talks are good. I hope so. But there's very few speeches that are going to transform you. I'm so sorry. They might help your heart for a little while. They might give you a good idea to open. But transformation comes from daily work, daily investment. It comes from caring so much about yourself and your life that you literally pour yourself into this work, this avoda, into this compassion, into this closeness with Hashem. So once again, I'm pointing you in the direction, whoever wrote that, enter into that program for transformation. Know that I have no stake in this. My stake is that I want people to get the help. That's my whole stake, okay? Transformation is every day like a workout where you get those muscles. Okay, what can be a key to resilience? Sorry, one second. Oh, I'm missing some questions. Sorry. Come on down, friend. Okay. Sorry, your questions jump around on my computer. Last week you mentioned the first step is to feel the pain and then process the pain and then open to Hashem's rachamim. I tried many times during the week, but somehow when it came to opening up to Hashem's rachamim, then I just couldn't do it. Yes, sweetheart. Thank you for sharing that. You're in the process. You're doing the work. And if Hashem's rachamim is hard to get to, start by giving yourself rachamim. Just write yourself those letters. Write yourself beautiful messages. Listen to your own beautiful music. Hashem may seem too far away at this moment, and that's okay. That's why he gave us ourselves and our people around us. It's okay. He doesn't feel bad. Okay. What can be a key to resilience in the process of still wanting and hoping despite the ongoing losses? When we do the work of coming close to Hashem, a very interesting thing happens. We start to internalize that the journey and the process of our own becoming is more precious than anything that we can obtain, even if that obtaining is a spouse. It doesn't feel good to hear, and it doesn't stop hurting. It does hurt, but it's also glorious to focus on yourself and your closeness with Hashem. There's something ever present about it, nourishing, beautiful. And Geula will come, the salvation will come, whether before the ultimate redemption or not, salvation will come. In whatever way it looks like, it will come. You are not meant to just be in the pain, no. But while you're in the pain with the ongoing losses, one thing you have is you have yourself, who you're becoming, and you have Hashem. And he's so sweet. You can literally embrace Hashem. You can literally get embraced by Hashem. Okay. What should we do if we no longer have friends? Usually when we no longer have friends, on some level, we have shut ourselves away, feeling unsafe to ourselves or with people, feeling like we're tired of investing and created walls around our heart. So we want to soften those walls and gently become more receptive. And we begin that by becoming more receptive to Hashem's gifts and then slowly noticing that even if we think we have no friends, we're very, very dependent on people. We just are. We think we're walking through life alone. It's just not true. There's tons of people who are supporting us, whether it's the grocery man or the mailman. We are surrounded by support, and it's it's for us to be brave, to slowly open up. And if we can't do it, it's okay. We can just ask Hashem, help me to open. Okay. What if someone is working on themselves thinking, amazing, I believe in myself, not so ripped apart by the shidduch system, but what about balancing your weaknesses and areas to work? So work doesn't have to be brutal. Work can be sweet. Remember, some people have jobs they love, and that's a good thing. They love going to work. The work of relationship with Hashem is never ending. You don't have to be beaten up to do that. It deepens and it deepens. And as human beings, the truth of it is that we're utterly dependent on Hashem. So sometimes we're like in a groove and we feel really strong and we forget our dependency. And that's why we have, set prayer times for those times when human beings suddenly feel invincible. It's not that Hashem wants us to know that we're so dependent. He doesn't want to diminish us. He wants to let us know, hey, you're just a person. You're not going to carry this whole thing by yourself. Come turn to me. Let me love on you a little bit. You do so much. You're rocking and rolling. Let me love on you. And you turn to him in a quiet way and you talk to him. Okay, we're going to look for one more minute at these messages and then we're going to go to Hannah and Adina. Okay. Someone wrote something about the awful messages that people get, that we in community, about being less than because they're not married, and asked the question, how can we address these issues on a communal level? And those of us in Ocean. Okay. Oh, I'm getting a phone call here. 1 second. 1 second. I'm looking a little bit more. So Leah, your question is a little bit too long for me to read over here, but I will tell you my approach when it comes to communal ills, okay? I have an approach of being a lover, not a fighter. When we put out the positive message of the truth, we make much more of an impact than when we fight the system, because the minute you fight, you're against people's defenses. People don't even know that they're doing, like, how insensitive it is. They don't know. So you bring it up, they're defensive. It's awful. So fighting and like making a declaration, writing an article, for me, for who I am, it doesn't seem to be the most effective way. But being bold in a message of the truth, of the belovedness, effectiveness, importance of every single person, married and not married, this I take a stand for. As a matter of fact, I give a class, that one for your friend class, like literally this email goes out to 4,000 people. There's usually 50, 60, 70 people. And who opens for me? Who gives the deep of the depth message? Hannah, which I never really gave much thought for. I think Hannah's like 22. Hannah, are you 22? Yeah, she's technically young, but she's got the soul for the message. I never even saw her age, and I certainly never wondered she's not married. I wonder. No. We're all just people. We're all just people, and I have a special belief, and my special belief is just for me. I'm not saying I read this in a book, but I believe that women who are facing the pain of being single right now at the end of days, which wasn't the pain 50 years ago. Everyone just got married to their cousin or something after the war. It's a special pain. They are the glorious princesses of Hashem, and their prayers of yearning for love and hugs and being seen for their beauty and sharing a life and raising children is the deepest, highest prayer for the most redemption. It's almost like asking please Hashem, could my life start? Isn't that the same prayer as please Hashem, bring the redemption? We're sick of this. I think that the pain that the women who are wanting to get married and who haven't found their shidduchim are carrying for the world, and the prayers that come from there are unsurpassed anywhere, unsurpassed. That's what I believe. I believe that, you know, in Mirza Hashem, the salvation will come, but what you're doing by holding this pain for the world and for Hashem is like beyond description. How painful it is, how much it is, how chronic it is, how much disgrace there is, how much not knowing there is. It's beyond description, and the heights that you will reach and that you are reaching is beyond description, beyond description. And this, I know it in my bones, and I feel a debt of gratitude, gratitude for what you're bringing to the world. And I feel very, very confident, actually, if there is no shidduch crisis, that it's nonsense. Of course, there's a boy for every girl, of course. The only problem is we need Mashiach to educate the men and how to be worthy of these glorious women. That's what I think. We need the men to be raised up for these glorious, glorious women. And there's, yeah. All right. I'm going to turn this over for the next few minutes and to Adina. Go ahead, Hannah. I'm not blaming it on the men. No, my dear. I'm saying this is the current circumstance, that I don't think that there's a shortage of men, as some people will say. I don't think so. There may be, they're not, you know, yeah. Thank you for clarifying that. I never want to speak badly about men. They're wonderful. Go ahead, Hannah.
Okay. Thank you, everybody who is here live and everyone who's watching. I'm like so excited to be here. And what you're currently seeing is a miracle in progress. It's crazy. I reached out to Rivka Malka with a dream that I had 2 weeks ago. And she was like, you have to get in touch with Adina. And I got in touch with Adina, and this fire was created where Adina and I spoke, and we were so aligned in our message and in our process of moving into wholeness. And there was so much joy and excitement. And we just felt this is really, really clear that Hashem wants us in the world. And it feels like such an honor to be the vessels to bringing this in. So we created this, we're calling it a journey called Peace in the Process. And Adina is the light behind this 3-part series. And she's been on a healing journey, specifically in the waiting and dating process. And I've been on a personal growth journey of learning to grow and feel whole wherever I'm planted. And we're here together to share our journey with you and witness you on yours. And we're not experts. We're just sharing what has worked for us. And we'll be walking alongside this journey with you. We're in this together.
Thank you.
Our mission.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. When you're done, can Adina give the program details?
Sure. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah. So our mission in creating this program is in our name. It's to find peace in the process. It's to be able to answer the question of how can we be at peace and embrace life and live wholeheartedly and still yearn for the salvation. So I'll give a brief outline of what we'll be talking about. I'll give over the mic to Adina. So the brief outline that we're going to be sharing with you is stepping into authenticity, connecting to the core of who you are. And then our next level is accepting and being okay with the pain. The third level is letting go of baggage and limiting beliefs. And then we can reconnect to Hashem in sincerity and create a personal relationship with Hashem. Once we do that, we can enter a place of complete surrender. And then the last level is stepping into doing and being and allowing ourselves to dream again. And this program is for you if you are a single woman who is searching for answers of how to feel whole in the process of finding your other half. And if you're ready to step out of waiting and start living, I think that you will really benefit from this program. So email us if you're interested. Email us at peaceintheprocess7@gmail.com. So that's PEACEINTHEPROCESS7@gmail.com. And we're really excited to hear from you, and email us today, because this program, we only have set 20 slots open. So we want you to join, and we want you to join before the doors are closed. Adina, do you want to take over?
Hi everyone. Firstly, thanks Hannah, and thanks Rivka Malka for this incredible series, which I have no doubt has been amazing chizuk for so many. And thank you to each and every one of you for joining us, for enabling us to open this space for the discussion of such an important topic. I really appreciate that you're all here with us. In my searching, I was looking for the how do I be okay? How do I feel at peace, even though I'm yearning, even though I'm wanting something? How do those two come together? And Rivka Malka set the tone, and now we'd like to really give the strategies, the formula to be able to feel okay within your struggle, within your challenge, with where you are. To be able to connect to yourself, to connect within yourself, to open yourself up to Hashem, and to be able to go on a journey, on a healing journey, to Yeshua, whatever that Yeshua that might be, to just be your best self. And we really hope that our program will be able to provide that. And if you'd like to join, then please get in touch, and we'd love to hear from you. And yeah, that's about it.
PeaceInTheProcess7@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And the name of this book is The Secret to Miraculous Salvations. I recommend learning it with a friend every day. It's just a tiny little book. One chapter a day is 1 page a day, basically. Okay, my friends, time has come to say goodbye. If you would like to be on a weekly email list to join a 2 o'clock Wednesday class, it's a different type of class, just send a message to Adina Chrysler and she'll let me know. And I bless you with every bracha, every salvation, every healing, every success. May Kadosh Baruch Hu shine his mercy on you in the most revealed way possible. And may this vessel that you're creating through the Peace in the Process program be a great light for the world, for Geula, and bring healing to so many. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you. I'm gonna leave the Zoom on, even though I'm turning off the recording.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.